Good morning, everybody, on the 3rd day of August, 2022, Wednesday. This is Franklin's happy day, when Franklin sends down $2,700, $1,800 and $800, 16. Yeah. From heaven. And a woman named Rachel called us, and it made me think of a song. Do you remember this song? Reuben, Reuben, I've been thinking, what a grand world this would be if the men were all transported far beyond the northern sea. Rachel, Rachel, if you'll not transport us, I will take you for my wife, and I'll give to you my paycheck every payday of my life. Hear no evil, speak no evil, think no evil, do no evil. Hear, speak, and hear, speak, see no evil, and hear no, and think no evil, and do no evil. We are one. What hurts me hurts everybody. What hurts everybody hurts me. What gives me happiness gives everybody happiness. What gives everybody happiness gives Glennie happiness. All right, where do we begin? Helper number 3. You owe Glendora $40. But if you don't want to pay it, that's okay. Helper number 3. Return Glendora's CD player that cost $23 or $24 or $5. Please. Helper number 3. Return the key to Glendora's happy house. Senior Center in Pittsfield. Thank you so much for making a live wraparound for the TV station in Pittsfield. Are you going to write to Glenn Williams about that? Maybe. Maybe. Put it on the back burner now. And we have 4 brand new back burners. We have 4 brand new burners. We bought collars from them for $16 from Family Dollar. I think the housework is almost up to date. I think it is up to date. I think every day we have to check either the electronics bench or the window bench with all of the DVD transfer material there. What's under the kitchen sink? You have to watch that closely. And what's under the bathroom sink? Then I thought we were buying a little thing, a little suction thing, and it had a hose, and you put it on. This is when the bathroom toilet ran over, and you put the hose in the water on the floor, and you draw up this pump, and it filled up the barrel, and then you put the water, pushed it down, and put the hose in the toilet, pushed it down, and then. But instead, I have this huge thing that's this big, like a vacuum cleaner. Do you want it? That's not what I wanted. Oh. And we bought it at the hardware store, so I think I'm not going to return it. That just takes too much labor. I'm going to put it out under the curb and see if it won't help somebody else. Tomatoes are here. Locally grown tomatoes are here. Locally grown corn is here. It's at the farm stands. And you go and you put in your money and you leave it in a box. And today, April, will you just leave like $10 extra? God bless them, that they would trust people. And sometimes people, I'm just learning for the first time in my life at 94 years old, no, there are people who are not trustworthy. And it's the people who's robbed us of the beauty and the stature and the antiqueness of the Lincolns. The people who have robbed us, who go and leave and turn you into an agency. Number 3 employee used to say, you don't have a good judge of character, Glendora. You trust everybody. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. But yes, I think I will. So, a tomato sandwich. And then we'll get vegetarian bacon. And lettuce I can't eat anymore, unless it's chopped up. You think somebody could chop up a whole bunch of lettuce? And vegan mayonnaise. Salt and pepper on rye bread, seedless rye. Oh, that's the great time of year. And what else is good now? Are the cantaloupe good, or do they just get hard and rotten without ripening in between and being sweet and edible? All right. And our dear April did grocery shopping at Walmart and all of the electronic shopping and things that are non-grocery within an hour. She works out at Planet there. Planet gives people under 19 free membership. So she'll have that until she goes to Geneseo College, the State University of New York, at Geneseo on August 24th. So we'll take all of Franklin's money that he worked so hard for and so faithfully and so loyally on the Buffalo Evening News, and we will take it to the bank. We have quite a lot of money, and we're trying to give it away. We gave away $50 yesterday to Jim Clark at the seniors in Pittsfield, asking him if he could find a family that really needed it, and cashing the check and giving them the cash. And we did the same thing for Ginny Palmer. She knows a family that is very much in need. And I told you yesterday, she gives them $100 a month, $200 a month. I told you all that yesterday. Did you get the work done yesterday? Well, I don't understand it. We ended up with 13 things not done. And the day before, we ended up with 7 things not done. And we did more things yesterday than we did the day before, so I don't understand why the work isn't up to date. But with patience, we might make it. You think we'll make it today? Somebody told me, I said, these people, they worry me, the so-called Adult Protective Services, and I don't think they act like they're protecting us. I think they act like they're attacking us. And I said so. And they give me anxiety that they're going to take away all my wonderful Medicaid benefits. And I was told, no, they aren't. They want you to have the benefits. So that was consoling. The new August fiscal month started Monday, and Amy has done a superlative job on the trust. She sent in 4 or 5 requests yesterday. The balance in the trust it should be 0. All of the money that was put in the trust to be spent in July should be spent, but it isn't. It's only down to like $1,500. And remember, they get the money. When it's over with the body, they get the money. It isn't returned to you, and that's not right. I think that's a cheat. We talked to Ethel Baker about giving Glendora treatments, Christian Science, because Glendora wants to be one with God and think only about God and work only for God and never think about or do anything selfish, egotistical, or me first. Wants to give all time and energy to helping others. When all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how you treat others. And now we're on a roll. We did it perfectly yesterday. Perfectly yesterday and the day before. And maybe the day before that. And I've got this far before, as I've told you, and then a bomb or something very, very bad will happen and throw it all off again. And we have to start over again. The cooler is up to date. All of the groceries in the cooler, refrigerator, there's no leftovers in there. We have one batch of Pillsbury biscuits that had to sit and not cook overnight. But they will be all right, won't they? They will resume cooking. I like them crispy and brown. These are blueberry biscuits, Pillsbury. The freezer is clean. All of the inventory's done. The electronics bench, the window bench, the kitchen cupboard, kitchen under the sink, bathroom under the sink. Compton's is still on volume R. World Book Encyclopedia is still on volume M. We just finished another one of your works, Franklin. We just finished the Brown volume. He wrote 800 poems, and all the ones we read yesterday were in 1976, 1977, and they were published in the Buffalo Evening News. I asked Mary Baker, no, I asked Ethel Baker, who works out of Boston and Buffalo, she said, if she remembered Franklin's byline, Franklin Buell. She didn't. Well, maybe she hadn't been in Buffalo long enough. His last writings were around 1985, around there. A joke. We've got to find you a joke. Oh, wait a second. Mummy, is it true that I come from dust and return to dust? Yes. Well, I just looked under the couch and somebody's coming or going. A Bible passage. All things work for good for those who love the Lord and know His purpose. I promise today that one of the two helpers today will read you jokes and sing you a hymn and say you a Bible passage and give you a word to freshen your vocabulary. I promise we will do that today when they come in. All right, a hymn. Jesus calls us o'er the tumult of life's wild and restless sea. Day by day His sweet voice sounded, saying, Christian, follow me. I want to sing you another one too. In simple trust, like theirs who heard beside the Syrian sea, the gracious calling of the Lord. Let us, like them, without a word, rise up and follow Thee. In simple trust, like theirs who heard beside the Syrian sea, the gracious calling of the Lord. Let us, like them, without a word, rise up and follow Thee. This morning I'm singing like a prisoner, behind 8 bars looking for the key. What else are we supposed to do? A word. A word. Amiable. Having those qualities that cause a person to be like. Good-natured complacence. Courteous. Okay. I think we ought to go over the model quickly. Remember, selfishness, egotism, and me first, and wrong thinking have no reality. They're nothing. They have nothing. Nothing. They're nothing. They don't even exist, except as you make them think they exist. If you think about them, then they exist. But it's a phony existence. So if you don't think about them, they just don't exist. And if you don't think about being mean or being sick or doing bad things, they don't exist. I think Shakespeare said it. Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Okay. So, goodbye to that. Turn your back on it. Go over here and help others. All day long, help others. Don't do anything but help others. Care and share. And where you have fulfillment, and you have peace, and you have joy, and you have accomplishment and happiness, and you do that for a while and you find out the truth. What's the big truth now? What? What is the big truth? You find out that all this loving, that's what God is. You found out at last what God is. God is love. And now you have a relationship with God. You've always wanted a relationship with God, but you couldn't have it because God was so big you couldn't get your arms around God. But better than that even. No, not better than that. But as good as that is, you know what the substance of God is. Why? Number one, you're given. That God is love, love is God. Number two, you know what love is. Ever since you've been in your mother's arms, you knew what love is. So therefore you know what God is. And then you find out that this body, for instance, and a cell in this body cannot exist. A cell cannot exist detached from the body. That's the onlyness of God. There's only God. God is all there is, the allness of God. You know what that means? By definition, that means that all of us are some of God. You are some of God. There's no other way around it. If God is all there is, then you are some of God. So you have the onlyness of God, the allness of God, and the oneness of God. You are really one with God. No matter what evil comes your way you think, or no matter what evil thinking you do, or thinking of evil you do, you are some of God. And because you are some of God, you're spiritual. Because God is a spirit. Remember, God is love, and love is a spirit. You can't get around that. Love is a spirit. So you are a spirit, and therefore you can't be sick. It's only if you think you're sick. Only you give the existence of sickness by thinking about it. So what's that Bible passage? Conform not to the world, but be transformed by the renewal of your thinking. You don't think about anything bad. You think only good things. Don't think about anything bad. It works, and you can do it. Sounds impossible to you? Not at all. Just don't think about anything bad. Say that over and over again in your mind. If that will do it for you, you don't think about anything bad. And you don't say anything bad. And when all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how did you treat others. Where are we going now? You not only find out that you're one with God, but you find out you're one with everybody else. We all have the same conscience. It's one great big conscience. And it's one great big spirit. And it's one great big mind. And we're all one with that. What hurts me hurts you. We're all one with that spirit, that mind, and that soul. All right, so we're one with each other, and we find out that we're side by side, working together. And what is our job? Our job is to make the universe better. Find the thing, as I told David Letterman on his show, find the one thing that you can do better than anybody else. And if you don't do that and do it, it's going to nag at you. So we all find out that we're an area of God, and we all have a special syndrome of assets that make us do a job better than the area next to us can do it. And that's our job, to make the universe go. I heard you. Grow. Good for you. And glow. And we've been doing that for 4 billion years, all of us together, all of our brothers and sisters, and the little animal sisters too. And the next thing you find out is that love is good. Did you ever know love to be bad? No. Love is always good. Remember, love is a spirit. And if love is everything there is, and it is, then everything's good. You only spoil that by your wrong thinking. and a couple of other things. Never lie, steal, or cheat. It isn't worth your conscience. Any part of your conscience. I shouldn't say part because it's all one. But any area of your conscience. Do not lie, steal, or cheat. And the last thing is go vegan. What is vegan? Vegan is kindness. You're a kind person, are you? You wouldn't eat your dog. You wouldn't eat your pet fish, would you? You wouldn't eat your cat, would you? You wouldn't eat your pet turtle, would you? You wouldn't eat your pet parakeet, would you? These are all some of us. Don't be cruel. Don't put your money down at the supermarket and pay somebody else to do all this cruelty to these sweet pigs and cows and hens and turkeys and chickens. And Ashley, by the way, is going to rescue 3 turkeys. A great big tom turkey, who's quite old, and 2 or 3 little other turkeys. And we rescued a kitty. Remember, we kept Miss Kitty home and safe and warm and well fed, big and the best there is. Hamburgers that cost $10. What are they called? Better than Prime, or better than meat, or what are they called? Beyond Meat. And other hamburgers that cost $5. And covered it with nutritional yeast, which they just love, and you would love it too. So that's the model. We ought to go over that every 2 or 3 days, and we ought to go over, when all is said and done, the only thing that matters is how did you treat others. This is sort of a pep talk, isn't it? I need it, probably more than you do it. I'm probably worse than you are. And when people are mean to me and attack me, and I don't know why people are so mean to old people. I just don't understand it. When I was a little girl, we were taught to respect our elders. That doesn't seem to exist anymore. Wayne says that they come in and they find out that you're older than they are, and they think that you're weaker than they are, and so they start to take advantage of you, and then they start to bossing you, and then they start to boss the whole thing, and they start screaming and hollering at you. Oh, that's a bad thought. Bad, Glendora. I think I'm going to get an audio tape recorder, because the Olympus and the other recorders that will do audio up to 1,500 hours, you can't play them back. You can't find anything. You can't find the playback. And you have to listen to the to-do list that you audio recorded to find out what to do next. I think April has found me, although it plays back in a computer and it has something to do with a flash drive. We'll see. It was kind of expensive, and it was on Marketplace, $29. We had to buy a new audio cord for our camcorder. Where's our camcorder? Oh, there's a whole lot more good that happened that should be reported, but I don't have the list to read it to you, to be prompted by it. Okay. Let's see.
The time is 8 o'clock a.m.
We did the hymn, we did the Bible lesson, and we did the joke, and we did the word. So that's it. Soul to soul. On. You have to have a title for it. Things are back to being good. What? Things are back to being good. And what is the date? August 3rd, Franklin's Joy Day, Wednesday. And what is the number? 13,704 or 5 along in there. I love you. Grace and peace. Glow with the Spirit divine. Helping others.